welcome to another episode of Lyrical Breakdown.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Lisa.
We're on episode number 10.
Yeah.
Cruising right along.
Yes, we are.
So what do you have for us today then?
Oh, man. Well, we have a song called You Can Never Go Home Again.
Okay.
And it's by the band Gangstagrass.
Gangstagrass.
I found this. Well, I thought I found it. You had already listened to it. I was going down the rabbit tube, or the rabbit hole, the rabbit tube, the rabbit hole. It's the same
whatever.
thing. Yeah. It's
Not a good place to be there.
Yeah. And this popped up on my screen. I'm like, whoa, rap and bluegrass together? And you're like, oh, yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, too, and it was kind of good. It's different.
Yeah. When I first seen it, I'm like, this is just another gimmick. So I'm going to be stupid. I'm going to hate it. So I'm like, well, I'm going to play it anyways, see how bad it is. And then I just kept watching it, and it's like, I actually don't hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I wouldn't say it'd be something that I would go to and listen to all the time, but it's not bad.
No, they've got some talent, and it's very, very, it works together for the mixture of the bluegrass and then the rap. It really works well together. Never thought in a million years that would work, but it does.
Right.
So it's off the album American Music that was released in 2015. They have a fiddle vocals, Melody Allegra Berger. Dan Whitner is on the banjo and he does vocals. Wrench is on guitar. Wrench. That's his name, Wrench.
That's a name there.
Yeah. And then Arson and Dolio the Sleuth are the MCs.
Okay.
And if I said the names wrong, I'm sorry, but, I think I said them right, though. They're the MCs. So that's
it's
cool.
Just a crazy band.
It is.
Really. I mean, it's just something you wouldn't expect to work as well. And it starts off full on like bluegrass. You got the banjo and everything, and but like when they go into the more of the, I don't know if I'd call it rap, but kind of more hip hop, kind of whatever it is, that kind of rapish style, and it all flows good. It's crazy. It's like you're listening to it and watching it. I'm like, there's no way this is going to be good.
And see, we were not the other ones. The other YouTube comments were, one was, I'm going down the most amazing YouTube rabbit hole right now. And that's true. That's what I was going through.
Not the rabbit tube?
Not the rabbit tube.
He's in the hole.
I think the tube might be the UK version.
Okay.
I'm just lying. I made that up. Anyways, the second comment was, I was drinking moonshine, then it turned to a 40 in a paper bag. That is very, very a good saying. Cool. I like that one. I expected this to be interesting. I did not, however, expect it to be this good. I might have a new favorite genre. Mm-hmm. Another one was, holy moly, I don't know how I got here, but I'm finally home.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then the last one is, this group is exactly what we need in 2020. Everyone come together with music, food, and love. Mm-hmm. And that is actually very true, because it is just, like I said, two genres coming together to make this new genre. And I really dig it.
And it's two, like, opposite of the spectrum genres.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't...
No. And it would be very interesting to see a live event just to see all the different people that go to listen to it. So that would be very interesting.
When you watch the video at first, you're just like, how do these people get in the same room and be like, hey, let's do this?
Right.
I mean, not saying they can't be friends. It's just, it's two different spectrums, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's how it all came together, but it works so well.
It does. All right, so I'm going to read through the lyrics and try not to get tongue-tied.
What are we doing for our drink today?
Oh, yeah. Wow, I'm really off my ball this time.
Man, you can't forget the alcohol.
It's that whole rabbit tube.
Yeah, that will throw you off every time.
It will throw me off every time. You go ahead.
We are drinking, it's a beer. It's called 312. It's a urban wheat ale from Goose Island Beer Company. So it's bright, lemony, a bit hazy. That's what it says. It's 4.2% alcohol. Yeah, it's kind of a cool little bottle. fairly simplistic, but let's give it a shot.
All right.
Now, you're not a beer drinker.
Nope, and it tastes like beer to me. I mean, like, none of them taste different. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Well, this one has to taste different than the coffee one.
Well, it's better. It's a mellow. I didn't like the coffee one, though. It's really gross. It's mellow, but I don't taste any lemon. Is it me, or do you taste the lemon? Like, I can taste
I don't
fruit
really
in mixed drinks, but I cannot taste it in the beer.
No, you can't really taste the lemon.
Okay, so it's not my...
You can tell it's got a little bit of maybe a citrusy kind of flavor, but for the most part, it's just a light beer.
You see, urban wheat ale, like, all I ever taste is the wheat. It's so weird. All beer tastes the same to me.
Get a little more hoppy one.
Yeah, maybe then. I don't know. It can't get over the wheat.
We just got to down it. But that's pretty good. If you're a beer drinker...
If you're a beer drinker and you're new to beer, that'd probably be a good one to start with.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty mellow. So, all right. Now I'll go to the lyrics.
Yeah. Now we can take care of business.
Okay, so I remember 20 years ago I was sitting in that courtroom, my charges I could not defend. The last thing the judge said to me as he handed down my sentence was, "You can never go home again. Never go home. Never go home. You can never go home again." And I agreed with everything that the judge said. If you come back around, I'm going out like Judge Dredd. What was in your head when you made those choices? I can only hope that you were played by voices. And you made the decision not to listen to the one that was on your side when you started to slide. But Mama brought you back home. She was broken down to the bone 'cause you've been gone so long. But now her baby boy is back in the house. You can see the smile on her mouth. I ain't never seen her this happy. Then all of a sudden you disappeared again. She's crumbling down. The smile is gone from her chin. And she doesn't know where. And I don't even care. 'Cause you broke Mama's heart twice. And it ain't even nice. Now I'm surprised as heck that she's wondering where you went. And I don't give a damn, friend. I don't even care. When you've done your time and you come back out that doorway, you will not find a loved one or a friend. You may return to the place where people used to know you, but you can never go home again. Never go home, never go home, you can never go home again. The sights these eyes have seen would horrify the strongest. When I left home, I haven't been in the longest. Led a life by the sword, called to fall upon it. The kites flew, there was nobody left to correspond with. The million faces either passed on the flip, so there wasn't much for me to do except dip. Had so many years stolen off the lives of a snitch. And it was either do a bid or lying in the ditch now, left to walk across a land as a mystery. Every new town, reinvent a new history. I turned my back on my past just to get to see a new day, reframe my identity. Get to sleep at night, man, I need about fifth at least. The dirty deeds that I did just to get to eat. Melancholy and emptiness, the unseen consequence of the conditions of release. We found a man the other day just hanging from the ceiling. His sentence was almost at an end, and there on his bed was a note so sad and simple, saying, "You can never go home again. Never go home, never go home. You can never go home again. Never go home, never go home. You can never go home again." Well, I didn't like mess up that bad, so.
No.
A little tongue twistery.
Yeah. That's So, what's your first impression? What do you think the song's about? Just like.
Well, obviously somebody got into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And went to jail.
Right.
And broke his mama's heart.
Yep.
That's about it.
Do you think, I mean, the whole song, you think it's kind of written from like someone that's like an inmate's perspective, or?
Yeah, kind of, like, you know, then I would hope that, like, he's trying to tell you just kind of the logistics of it. And basically, to me, it's a kind of a warning so that you don't make the same mistakes as that person does.
Right.
And
without diving into it too much yet, I was just wondering because I couldn't tell if it was someone like talking about someone else, but then it kind of sounds like it's coming from the point of view of the person that.
It does, because in the end when it says his sentence was almost, it almost sounds like maybe it's another inmate that's telling this guy's story, the one that died. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Could be wrong, but as we go through it, then that's what it'd be interesting to see what we can do here. So, because it starts off, I remember 20 years ago, I was sitting in that courtroom. Yeah.
My charges I could not defend. So that's what, like, right there, it sounds like it's first person.
From
like,
his point of view, yeah.
Right. Obviously, he's guilty of what he did because he couldn't defend it. The last thing the judge said to me as he handed down my sentence was, you can never go home again. Never go home again. You can never go home again. So you can't go home again.
Nope.
Which, I mean, from that point of view, though, you did something terrible or whatever.
We're talking about life here.
Right.
That's what the judge is saying.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So, like, this is not good.
Right. I was thinking maybe just like the shame and you can't go home. Like, there's no going home because you don't want to face the family or people that know you.
Yeah.
But it could be you literally can never go home again.
Life.
It could be more literal than that, yeah. So, and I agreed with everything the judge said. If you come back around, I'm going out like Judge Dredd.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's not life and sentence. And, I don't know.
So this almost sounds like it's coming from a different person's perspective. Because he's like, and I agreed with everything the judge said. You come back around here, I'm going out like Judge Dredd. That means he's going to be like, he's going to take him out.
Oh, maybe.
What was in your head when you made those choices? See, it sounds like it.
Oh, yeah. Tricky. This one's tricky.
I can only hope that you were played by voices.
Yeah, it does sound like a slightly, like somebody else's point of view then.
Right. So someone from his hometown or where he's from. And you made the decision not to listen to the one that was on your side when you started to slide. So it's kind of like, you got the good and bad in your head. And
I will say, when you're listening to the song, because I think we also got to put this into perspective, the very first part was the banjo player. So that's what he's singing. And then when it says, and I agreed with everything that the judge said, that's one MC.
Right.
So
it starts off bluegrass and then
now it's that one MC. So it could be, when we transition to the other MC, that might be playing in perspectives a little bit for the song.
That could be. That's why it's kind of neat to read the lyrics and without that context too, But it might make it easier if you know who's singing. But Mama brought you back home. She was broken down to the bone because you've been gone so long. But now her baby boy is back in the house. You can see the smile on her mouth. So something about his mama, or the main character or whatever, his mama. So he was gone and came back. So I'm guessing he gone and done him dirty again. He was gone again. It's kind of missing. I ain't never seen her this happy. Then all of a sudden you disappeared again. She's crumbling down. Smile is gone from her chin. And she doesn't know where. I don't even care. Because you broke Mama's heart twice. And it ain't even nice. Now I'm surprised as heck that she's wondering where you went. And I don't give a damn, friend. I don't even care. When you've done your time and you come back out that doorway, you will not find a loved one or a friend. That's kind of a...
So that's a warning. Like, yeah.
Like, don't come here again.
Yeah.
So I don't know whose perspective this is from.
I don't know.
It's almost
sounds like a brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking almost a father, maybe.
That, or, because he's saying, and Mama, In
the last verse here, you may return to the place where people used to know you, but you can never go home again. So that means you can return back to town.
Right.
But you ain't never coming home again. So, I don't know. That's definitely, I think that's a different perspective than what it started off as.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's got some cool lyrics.
Yeah, it does.
Then it kicks back in to the bluegrass, kind of just the chorus. You can never go home, never go home. You can never go home again.
So now this is the second MC that's singing this next part.
So the sights these eyes have seen would horrify the strongest. So I don't know whose perspective now we're talking from. Mm-hmm. This might be the going to back to the main
to
character.
The in jail person.
When I left home, I haven't been to in the longest. I think it's when I left the home, maybe.
Yeah.
Haven't been to in the longest. Led a life by the sword, called to fall upon it. So what do you think that means? Like led a life by the sword, called to fall upon it. Like.
So you had to leave kind of the gritty life, kind of the criminal life. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And he was called to fall upon it. So, like something probably went down and he had to take the fall.
Yeah, that could be. The kites flew. There was nobody left to correspond with. I'm not sure what kites flew.
Yeah, I have no idea, but
I'm assuming there's probably a alternative meaning. Probably not a happy dragon you fly around in the sky at the beach. But the million faces either passed or they flipped.
On the flipped.
On the
on the flipped. I didn't fix your line.
I don't know what that means. A million faces either passed on the flipped.
All the people you rock by? I don't know.
So there wasn't much for me to do except dip. So that means
I have no idea what this little part means, but sounds good.
The million faces either passed or they flipped. That makes more sense to me, but had so many years stolen off the lives of a snitch. So had many.
So somebody snitched him out.
Stolen.
So you're saying they got stolen, but somebody snitched on him. That's why he's in jail. That's what I'm taking from it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either do a bid or lying in a ditch. So, I mean, that's like.
Maybe if he wouldn't have, I don't know. Maybe if he wouldn't have gone to jail, then somebody would have offed him. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, the cops probably cut him a deal or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, you rat out this person and we'll. I don't know. Put you in, like, protection or something. I'm not sure. But that's kind of what I think it's getting at. Like, if he didn't do it and he was screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Left to walk across the land as a mystery. Every new town reinvent a new history. So I wonder, like, it almost sounds like he got a deal from the cops. Just my take on it.
I mean, it does kind of sound like that.
So he's like a snitch now. Like
that could be.
You rat out to your boss or whatever, and then you can get a walk. Because then every new town reinvent a new history. So he's coming up with a new past.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a new story. I turned my back on my past just to get to see a new day. Reframe my identity. Get to sleep at night. Man, I need about a fifth at least. So that means, like, he has to drink, basically, to be able to fall asleep. The dirty deeds that I did just to get to eat. Melancholy and emptiness. The unseen consequence of conditions of release. So that's kind of a neat little verse there.
Mm-hmm.
The unseen consequences of the conditions of release. I'm guessing that to be able to get that release from all that he was in, just kind of, you rat people out and you're hiding.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically living your life in fear, kind of. Kind of what I'm getting out of it. We found a man. See now.
Yeah, this next sentence. So read it first, because I'll tell you what.
Yeah. We found a man the other day just hanging from the ceiling. His sentence was almost at an end, and there on his bed was a note so sad and simple, saying you can never go home again. Never go home, never go home again.
So, like, to me, that's like back in the jail again.
Right.
So, that's why I'm like, I'm a little confused. So, it goes from like the snitch back to the person in the jail. I'm not sure.
But if he was in jail, he's not going to be really drinking a fifth to go to sleep every night.
No. So, that's why I'm not quite sure what, you know. It's a very cool song. I really like it. But yeah, sometimes I'm not quite sure of the, you know what I mean? Like, he was talking about having to do, you know, like led the life by the sword, and then talking about the snitch, and now all of a sudden it's back into jail again. So I'm not quite sure of the timeline there.
I'm assuming it's jail.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's why I thought it was always in jail.
His sentence was almost at an end.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could mean a million different things, but without actually sitting down with the singer.
Right.
Or the writers. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of, I mean, it's a cool story. It's, and if you listen to the song, you know, they break it down because there's different singers and stuff like that too, to break it up. And,
yeah, I mean, I really like the song. It's an interesting, you know, marriage of genres, and I think it works really well. So I think everybody should go and check it out because it is interesting. I never would have thought that you could, you know, combine the two and have it be really
like rap
cool.
and bluegrass, you would never.
No, but it works really well.
Yeah, well, these guys pull it off very well.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that everybody should run out and start themselves a rap bluegrass band.
Yeah.
Because it probably will not work in most cases. But these guys, they do very well.
So a little bit about the band. Initially, they formed in 2006. Gangstagrass started to see its music reaching a wide audience when the band's song Long Hard Times to Come was selected to be on the opening theme song of the acclaimed television show Justified on FX in 2010. I've never seen that show, but
I've heard of it.
It sounds kind of cool.
I've never seen it.
They have 6 studio albums. No Time for Enemies, the latest, will be released August 2020. Wrench is the person that put this all together. He grew up in the 80s when hip-hop was exploding, so at school he would listen to hip-hop, but when he got home, his dad always had Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash on the turntable.
So which one?
Wrench.
Which one's Wrench?
Is just the guitar player. So, like, he didn't sing or anything. Okay. So he's just the guitar and the person that actually brought it all together. This was his vision.
Okay.
So when he moved to New York, he was producing hip-hop beats for rappers. He would try to say that what would be cool is a little fiddle here or some pedal steel guitar, which they never wanted to do, so he started doing it for himself. Wrench was stating in an interview that this divide in music is propelled by the industry, but when you look at the history of music, you will see a lot of cross collaborations and heavy influences with other cultures. He likes to go around and to see these different crowds of people enjoy the same music, and when you see people's playlists, you realize most people will have a variety of genres that they listen to, which is very true because I listen to like a wide range of different genres. And I think most people do. So, and I think it was really interesting to hear him say like it's the industry that's propelling like, no, this is country, this is pop, you know.
Those two are kind of the same now.
Well, yeah, that is kind of the same. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the industry that's setting the standards, and sometimes it's hard for these new genres or new, like, collaborations to get any radio time because the industry is like, no, that doesn't work.
It's pretty cool, though. This guy had that vision. You know what I mean? Like, he could hear it in his head when he was producing or doing whatever he was doing before, and then to be able to pull it together. And these had, 6 albums already?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and when you see them together as a band, they seem like they get along really well, and it really works for them, and they look like they have a lot of fun together.
I wonder what the crowd looks like. That's got to be a diverse crowd.
He did say sometimes it depends on the area they're in. So sometimes it's not quite as diverse as like maybe a city would be probably more diverse than if you're in, you know, way north of by Canada.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does depend on the region, but, you know, sometimes he'll have more of a certain crowd and sometimes they'll have more of the other crowd. Yeah. And then sometimes there's a blend. So, but it would be interesting.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather see it then when there's a big blend of crowd.
Right.
So that you can really experience like everybody coming together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, so I think it'd be neat to go to one of their concerts.
Yeah. So definitely take a peek at them because it's kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah. Like I said, when you first seen, like, I thought for sure it was just some kind of gimmick and it was just going to be stupid. I thought for sure it was going to suck.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it and I just kept watching it and like, you know,
it works. And
I want to not like it.
Yeah. And I listened to a few different songs and I mean, they got some good messages too.
Yeah.
It seems like they're a little bit more positive with what they're trying to say. And I think that's also
going
something.
Off that song we just did, but
well, no, but this is kind of a warn. You know what I mean? They're trying to warn on this one.
Right.
It's not like
snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
You ain't coming home again. I'll take you out.
It's good warning, though. Some people need to hear this stuff.
That's true.
But yeah. So I mean, it's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
So
go check it out
and try this Goose Island out.
Yep, Goose Island Beer Company. The lemony that you can't taste the lemon in.
Nope. 312.
Maybe if you're a beer connoisseur, some people are like so good at picking out the flavors and stuff. I'm a lot better than you are because you like it tastes like beer.
It tastes like beer. That's all. The wheat. That's all I can get over that wheat. I don't know what it is.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It's okay. All right, guys. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Cheers.